Hey, what's up, YouTube? So it's Christine with Gauge Girl Training, and today I'm going to be going over more real transformations by body type. I find that it's a lot easier for us to talk about these things when we actually apply it to real people. So instead of you seeing this corny visual here, I'm going to walk you guys through some examples of real clients. So we are first going to talk about endomorphs. And endomorphs are characterized by having an easier time gaining fat. It's not necessarily an ideal situation, but endomorphs do gain fat the easiest of all three body types. And specifically, we're going to start off with pear-shaped endomorphs. Now, I'm distinguishing in this video, unlike any other video before, two types of endomorphs. The reason I'm doing that is because sometimes people don't see themselves as an endomorph, and I'm going to show you one special situation where there's a distinction. So most endomorphs are pear-shaped. So this is an example of a client. This is an endomorph. This is a 1-year transformation photo. She's 33, 5'4". She went from 250 pounds to 163.4. Her chest went from 44 inches down to 36. Her waist went from 47 to 34 inches. Her hips went from 55 to 42. Amazing transformation here. Here's another endomorph who had a substantial transformation. She was actually the second place winner of our keto shred. So you can definitely see some fabulous changes here. Here is another example of an endomorph transformation. This took place over the course of 6 months, and we did one-on-one 12-week online coaching 2 times with this client. You can see that she drastically reduced her waist, the body fat on the torso, but was able to maintain her hips and curves throughout this process. Here is another example of an endomorph. This client has been following the macros approach with Gauge Girl Training for quite some time, for about a year or so. She has effectively reached her goal. She is down 56 pounds, and she is now excited about where she's at, and she's going to start our Lean Gains protocol. You guys have seen our girl Alva before. She's an example of an endomorph body type who has leaned out. Her torso and figure look absolutely amazing, and she's another endomorph example. So I briefly want to talk about apple-shaped endomorphs, because all endomorphs think that they need to have big butts and thighs, and not all endomorphs are shaped that way. So you can be an endomorph metabolically. This is an example of a client who I consider an endomorph, but if you look at her, you might be confused to think she might be a mesomorph. So you can definitely see that there is a more concentrated amount of body fat in the torso. However, the legs are not as big, the glutes are not as big, but when people tend to store their fat in the torso region, as well as in this like upper arm region, I still consider this body type an endomorph from a metabolic perspective. I say that because these body types do have a harder time dropping body fat. They tend to have more of an adrenal body type. Here is another example where you can see I consider this more of an apple shape. The limbs and the glutes are not necessarily very large. They are not necessarily bottom heavy, but they do lose weight at the rate of an endomorph. So this is not to confuse you guys, but you could look like this or like this and still be an endomorph. So mesomorphs. Mesomorphs find it very easy to gain muscle. They lose weight easily. They can store their body fat relatively evenly. But here's an example of an endomorph client who did our keto shred. She lost a lot of, our regular shred. She lost a lot of body fat in the torso, in the arms, evenly throughout the legs. You can see the outer swoop of her quads here. Very nice transformation. Here's another transformation, and this is actually Cat-Eyed Beauty. She does have a YouTube channel here, and she's on Instagram, so you guys can check her out. But she's been following a macros-based approach. She found Gauge Girl Training through our macros video. You can definitely see the amazing difference. This is the same sports bra, slightly different lighting between the photos. You can see big differences in the torso, in the arms, in the hips, as well as the legs. Here is another transformation. This is a mesomorph transformation. This is at Monair. She's a beauty influencer on um, Instagram. I believe she's here on YouTube as well. You guys can check her out. But she has had just a phenomenal transformation. She was doing our Asian shred earlier in the year. She's just doing phenomenal with her progress. You can see she's losing weight pretty evenly all over her body type. Now this is actually a mesomorph transformation. This is Pam. Pam, she works for Gauge Girl Training, and she has a phenomenal story. She started all the way at 275 pounds, got down to a certain amount on her own, and she was able to get all the way to her goal with Gauge Girl Training. She's actually now part of our customer care team, and this woman is just an amazing inspiration. She has overcome cancer, she has overcome a stroke, and this woman really fought for her health. I could not be more proud of this woman. She is just an inspiring beam of light and sunshine, and amazing transformation. Here's another mesomorph transformation. Now this client was doing a contest prep. She started with our 6-week shred program and then did a 12-week contest prep program. Here is another mesomorph transformation. This is a fit mom. She has 2 kids, was able to transform her body into a bikini competitor to reach her bucket list goals. So we're going to talk about ectomorphs. Ectomorphs find it very easy to stay slim. However, they do have a tendency to be what I call skinny fat, meaning low body weight but higher body fat. This is an example of an ectomorph. She has a higher percentage of body fat on her torso, even though she is already very lean. She actually was 28 inches in the torso here and went down to 26 at the end of her program. Here is another ectomorph. Again, already very lean naturally, but she wanted to have more definition in her legs and torso and obliques. We were able to accomplish that. And here is another ectomorph. She is in her 50s. I believe this female is 56 years old. And just going to show you that you are never, ever, ever too old to reach your goals. She, again, naturally lean, but she wanted more muscle mass. She's had a lot of success on our programs. Here is another ectomorph transformation. Again, a very skinny, fat physique, but she was able to make some changes to the circumference of her torso. And this is probably one of our most successful ectomorph transformations of all time. She did a bikini competition, and this is actually a 12-week transformation. We had her over 1,800 calories, doing 3 cheat meals a week, very high, very minimal cardio, but we were able to make substantial changes in her hamstrings, in the lift of her glutes. Now notice she is on her high heels on this photo on the right, so that is going to make the glutes look higher and her pose is a little bit different. However, you can still see that there was a big transformation in the muscle mass in the legs. Again, here is another ectomorph transformation. This is a 10-pound weight gain. She was still able to maintain the size of her torso, but added nice size to the legs, nice size to the arms. So I hope you guys enjoyed this short video showing you guys some examples of real people. If you want to know what plan is right for you, check out the links below. We'll be happy to get you set up. They're all automatic downloads, so you can start today. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.